What up? What up? It's your boy TOJ. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking on the video. I'm gonna jump right into the content because this is what you clicked on the video for. I want to address what's going on with Dave Chappelle right now, brother. Dude is a comedic genius, and I 100% stand with Dave Chappelle, and I understand his comedy. I get it. Okay, when I first came across Dave Chappelle, I'm gonna tell you how I knew what I was getting when I seen him and how I knew he was my kind of comedian. Give me 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever. He made a joke, and this is when Dave Chappelle was like the ugly Dave Chappelle with the shitty dreadlocks. He was on, I think, Def Comedy Jam, and he said something like, you ever seen liberals and liberals be marching with black people, and they'll be like, end racism now, end racism now, end racism now, out of the way, nigga, end racism. I was like, dude, I laughed my ass off because I knew what he was talking about. It's those gentrification liberals who move in the hood. And I knew that this brother was woke. Regardless of how ignorant, some of his comedy came off, the dude had an element, okay, of intellect in all of his comedy. He's the only comedian since George Carlin and old Chris Rock. They used to have you thinking and discussing issues. Sometimes Paul Mooney, after, you see the comedy show. You don't leave the comedy show laughing. You leave the comedy show thinking. His last comedy special called The Closer encapsulated everything. His body of work at Netflix. He even said it in the special that if you're watching the show tonight, I'm going to close everything and answer all the questions you ever had as to why I feel the way that I feel. And he made it about race. The closing argument of all his body of work has to do with race and not sexuality. He even says so. And for the losers who wanted to get offended, those people would get offended by a bouquet of roses. Okay, that's what liberals do. Okay, I knew for a fact once he started mentioning the feminist movement, it's always white feminist movement. Okay, that's why you have something called a black feminist, because it's all about race. In this country, his comedy is predicated on the racial element. The racial element is what's funny about Dave Chappelle's comedy, because for a fact when he's speaking about a certain issue, even if you don't mention race, the undertone, the unspoken subtext of Dave Chappelle's comedy is about that. And the LGBT movement is the exact same. Okay, just recently some LGBT members crashed a Netflix executive meeting and got suspended because they wouldn't cancel Dave Chappelle. That man got ratings out this world. They're expendable. And it's not a matter of them crashing, like them, wanting to voice their opinion. You don't just go ahead and barge in on somebody on an executive level meeting, trying to get some shine, trying to gaslight somebody. There's avenues, man. You got to go through the proper channels. Dave Chappelle was right. I stand with Dave Chappelle on all his issues, to be quite honest with you. He just did a whole a special called Sticks and Stones that I agree with. He said the exact same thing with Sticks and Stones is that the LGBT movement is literally a movement, but they travel in separate cars, but they're under the same umbrellas. Gay white men hate lesbians, lesbians hate bisexual people, and the lesbians, the bisexuals, and the gays completely hate transgender people with a passion. Okay, but they pretend they're all on the same team, and the gays absolutely despise black homosexuals. The whole series Pose was based upon that because of race. Okay, not because he hates gays. I mean, we all have gay people in our family. Somebody somewhere in your family is gay. Somebody in your family somewhere is transgender. You don't hate them. Okay, but when you're a black person, you see the world completely different than anybody else, and Dave Chappelle touches on that. And a lot of people are getting they're getting sensitive to that degree. Okay, and the man is telling the truth. Caitlyn Jenner would not be considered Lady of the Year or Woman of the Year if she was black. Cassius Clay changing his name was an issue because he was black. Okay, and like he said, the only reason why people are touching on the transgender issue now is because, like Dave Chappelle said, because white men want to do it, because it's a white people issue. That's why Dave Chappelle got he's getting so much heat, because he's the only person who got the balls to go on TV and say what everybody, you know, the same thing with Trump. The people use that excuse with Trump. Well, we love Trump because Trump's saying what everybody else is afraid to say. If Trump was a black dude, he wouldn't have got to the White House. We all know that. If Trump or Barack Obama had the exact same track record as Donald Trump, he wouldn't have won. He wouldn't have got the. He wouldn't have got in the primary. Not even in the top 3. A black dude with an attitude problem, sexual assaults, discrimination lawsuits, 3 different kids by 3 different women, and also going on TV saying that my daughter is smoking hot. Even I would date her. No black dude, and we all knew this as black men, as a collective. We all knew that we can't say nothing as crazy as that on broad TV and not get our fucking head knocked off. Okay? But Donald Trump, he got the complexion for the protection. So I stand with Dave Chappelle, man. I'm not gonna be long. I love the closer, man, bro. I wish the brother best of luck. I think he has a podcast, so he's you know, moving on to some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But his body of work at Netflix is going to continue to make them people some money. And you know what I'm saying? The executives stood with Dave Chappelle and they refused to cancel him. And I'm glad that they stuck with that decision. I'm out.